Howdy folks, Randy Augsburger here, the Prepared Christian. Got a rainy, windy Saturday out here and not getting much done, so thought I'd give you a quick little walkthrough of what's left of the old homestead and what we've got to work with and what we're going to get started going on come this spring. And got way too many projects, but we're going to do a couple of them and hopefully take you along for the ride. I'll show you what buildings are left standing and where some of the old ones were and what land I got to work with. Alright, here is what we call the shop. This is it's a two-roomer, got an attic upstairs. It's been the shop since I was, little kid, 50-some years ago. We got a little hook on here. This has been here since I was a little kid. Getting her open, it's been, my wife likes to throw yard stuff in here, so it gets kind of cluttered in the winter. And I got some, can't hardly see it, I got some lots of old tools hanging on the wall. Got an old thermometer over there. That thermometer's hanging on a cabinet. Inside of that cabinet, there's some writing in pencil in there. I got a great aunt that signed it. Her name, 1888, is written in pencil in that cabinet with that big thermometer on there. A little modern tool. I got me a table saw that I usually have to pull out of here, put in the yard before I run it because it's kind of small in here. Got a broken crossbow up on the wall. I got a couple of cross cut saws there. There's a, in case you don't know what that is. If I keep from falling down here, that's got a big old long handle on it and a scoop. That is a tiling shovel. You can dig tiling trenches with that thing. Nice wooden pulley up there, an old skillet hanging on the wall. Got my modern toolbox. Got a couple other things here. Got a broken lathe right here that I need to get out of here. Got a post vise and files and stuff like that. We got this back room back here. Had a box fall over, shotgun shells laying all over the floor, empty ones. But got some materials, more stuff. Got a half sled there. That thing's antique, probably worth something. There's an old wood burner sitting underneath this plywood and sheetrock here. There's an old scythe hanging on the wall. Lanterns hanging on the wall. Got a cool post hole digger right here. This one, I like this one. This is a twisty, and it does a really good job of digging post holes in our clay dirt. I think I counted them up. I got 6 or 8 buck saws that I know there's a couple there, and that baby there, that's for corn. That's for you shell your corn. You use it to size it. You put the corn in there and shake it, and all the small stuff falls out, and what's left is the bigger kernels that you plant next year. But this room I'm wanting to clean out and turn into my little studio of I do some writing, and I also do trying to do this YouTube thing, so we want to get that a going, and we'll see about that sometime this summer. Alright, so this is the shop. Here, let me show you here back in this room. I got a ladder hanging down from the ceiling right here. It's hooked onto a pipe up there, and there's a trap door, and if this lathe wasn't here, we could pull that down and put the trap door up and get up in the attic. And there's some old fruit crates up there. There's an old sausage stuffer, lard press, big hand crank meat grinder that they used to use on the farm when they butcher hogs and stuff. But this place is falling down. But and my uncle tells me this here door is solid walnut. I don't know, haven't really checked it, but that'd be kind of cool if it was. Probably worth something. So this is my shop. Like I said, lots of old stuff hanging on the wall here. Show you behind the door. My grandpa's got before he passed away, had all kinds of, probably his grandpa had all kinds of stuff hanging up there. So got lots of license plates and stuff. I found some like 1930s license plates packed in some of the old buildings before they come down. So, but got a nice workbench here. It's got all kinds of stuff piled on it, but we'll be getting this cleaned up come this spring and be able to use it again here this summer. So this is the shop. All right, here's what's left of the garage. Well, I say what's left. It's still here. Just I got to fix the roof. Part of the old metal roof blew off, so I got to get that fixed before it gets rotten. Got a nice dinner bell up there that used to be on the summer house, which isn't there anymore. It's a little two-room summer house where they did the cooking in the summer. But that's kind of a cool door, or it's a sliding door that goes around the corner. But we've got enough gravel piled up on the inside for the garage that it's basically just a walk-in door on the end right there. And this is a big sliding door here. And there my grandpa took horseshoes and made his initials. His name was Wade. And we got the old John Deere mower, and I got a bell saw that I picked up at an auction and haven't used hardly. Got some old ladders there from the farm, and I kind of use it for storage. I used to keep the tractor in here, but it's out in the far shed now, and you can see where the roof's missing back there in the corner. Got some old planter seed, what do they call them, colliers, and another old sled back there. Sitting on that shelf, that square thing right in front of the window. That's a antique fence charger. Got a bunch of old hubcaps and some tools, hand tools, shovels. Gonna have to get a little more organized if we're gonna make a go with this place. We like to just set things in the building, but this here is the garage. Thought I'd show you out here right behind the garage. I got a big old mulberry tree and a cherry tree over here, but see them rounded things right there? Those are cast iron kettles. From what I understand, they used to use them to do laundry in. And they're not cracked or broken, they're just laying there upside down, and we can use them to, we could boil down maple syrup in them once we clean them, or we could boil down sorghum, which I've grown sorghum but haven't made syrup out of it, and or we could use them for laundry, or making 15 gallons of soup. So that's what we got there. And just over here we got a little garden shed that my dad and my sister built for a little playhouse for our kids when they were little. And they hardly ever use it because the wasps like to go in there, but we use it to store, I think there's a wheelbarrow in there and a wagon and little stuff. And there's a over 100-year-old Grimes golden apple tree. Needs, as you can tell, needs pruned really bad. So I've been slacking off. I tell you that we let the homestead, we moved here all gung-ho and started having kids and kind of ran out of time and didn't really get going on stuff. And so this is what happened. This here's about a 2-acre field that I've got that I've kind of, if you can see where that broad fork or that fork is there, I got an L-shaped thing that I till up, and I use that for a garden, and the rest I kind of let go, letting deer hang out in there. Deer, you like to bed down in there. And if you saw my first hunting videos, I was sitting right over behind those weeds and trees there, and there's my woods is back over there. And but that's about a 2-acre field here, including where I'm standing, and we mow part of this, and we used to have a fire ring down there, but I've moved that up to the house, and so the fire ring's up by the house now. But yeah, this is what we call the orchard. There used to be 99 trees in this thing, and there is an old pear tree down about in the middle of the frame, but you can't pick it out, and then there's an apple tree down in the corner that's still alive too, that don't know what it is, but. Got here, this was a big old sugar maple that was in the yard that we had taken out last fall. It was one of those branchy ones that it was gonna, I would have taken it myself, but one was leaning over the garage, one was leaning over where the car is parked, one was leaning over the power line, and one was leaning towards the house. And it's like, you know, I'm not gonna I'm gonna get somebody that's bonded and have them come out here and do it. And oh, here we come in the wind. That's probably pretty noisy in the mic. Come around here and I'll get turned around. Alright, got over here a little bit. Little wind's a little blocked right here. You can see where the roof's off the garage. I got this here's outdoor wood furnace. It's currently not working. I don't know. I think thermostat might be bad. I can't get the blower to kick on. It still pumps full of water. It leaks pretty good. There's a little rusting out. It's leaking underneath over there, and there's about, I always take a bunch and put it on the garden, and that's about 10-12 years worth of ashes that keep getting dumped there that don't get it dumped on the garden. Got a really good patch of black raspberries growing back there, and then those tall ones, those are elderberries that are growing by the garage, but the birds got most of them last year. So yep, that's the thing. First year I got this for, we had the house. The old house was single pane windows, slate roof, leaked, terrible doors. I burnt 23 pickup loads of wood that I cut down in our woods in here in this furnace in 1 year, one winter. But we didn't use any gas, so now that I'm over 50 and not as in good a shape as I used to be, 23 pickup loads is a lot for me to cut, and it kicks my butt, I can tell you that. But this year we've been burning straight propane, and that's kind of expensive. About $500-600 a month worth of propane, even in our house, when we got new windows and new roof and better doors. A fellow put our doors in, did a terrible job, so we're gonna have to get those redone. But we are a little better than we were. So there's the heat source if in a good year, and the rest of the garage. Let's I'd shown you out here. There's what we call the implement shed. I'll take you out there in a minute, and chicken coop. And in front of that, you can see that's our garden, or our main garden. There we are. Walked over, give you a little thing up there. There's the shop. There's the garage. House is behind it there. Over here, this is a foundation, some cement. I don't know if you can see them in there, but a bunch of tomato cages and stuff tossed up on there, some fence posts. That's all treated lumber right there that I've managed to scavenge over the years. And that foundation was what they called the hog shed. I used to raise hogs on this farm quite a bit, and it was falling down terrible. We burnt it down probably 10-12 years ago as it was falling down, so we just caught it on fire. And that's the chicken coop. We'll look at that after we go out and look at the well, let's see here. We'll spin around. There's the implement shed. That's where we're heading right now. Alright, we came up to the implement shed. There's my Ford 9N tractor. You may be wondering why it's the wrong color. 9N's supposed to be gray, but it's been like that. Well, it was red and gray. My dad restored it. My grandpa bought it from the dealer in like 1940s, and it was red and gray. And when my dad restored it, he was like, well, you know, 9Ns are supposed to be totally gray, so somebody painted it. But he started taking it apart, and underneath parts that had never come apart before was red paint. So we don't know exactly why this 9N is red and gray, and I don't know enough about old tractors that much to know if they actually did make red and gray 9Ns. But it's a 9N stamped right on the block, and it is red and gray. So, but here we got here's an old wooden pitchfork. There was a bunch of them around here. A couple of them got my great-grandpa's initials carved in them. And let's see, looks like there's a scythe hanging off of there. There's some old feed sacks there. Get over here. We got a nice. This is going to be a project one of these days. This grinding wheel. I'm gonna rebuild. It's got metal bearings in it, but I thought I might do some wooden block bearings and rebuild it. But you see all those nicks around there? My grandpa told me that when he was a little boy, like 8 years old, he come out to this thing and spun it around and took a hatchet and started chopping on it. That's how those nicks got in that grinding wheel, sharpening wheel. And he's right close to, would have been about 95, probably close to 100 by now. So yeah, that's probably happened 90 years ago on that grinding wheel. There's a bunch of my traps. Brought them from Colorado when I moved here all those years ago. I used to trap when I was a kid in Colorado, and I collected a bunch of traps. And I've used them a little bit here, but not a whole lot. Let's look in here. This is like a little alleyway, corn bin maybe. Don't know what they call it. Got some tractor wheel weights there. Those are, somebody wants them, they can make me an offer because they don't fit anything I've got. But there's an old Schwinn bike. That's a single speed Schwinn bike. Mason jars there, old mower. There's some old oil cans down there, 5-gallon. Grandpa used to use for gas cans. And but that's kind of a cool thing. This building's about to fall down too, but it's got a metal roof, so it's lasted quite a bit longer. Got some cool old hubcaps there. Don't know what they are. Got an old pitcher pump hanging here, sitting here in the corner. Got some glass jars down here. Got some old tile. got my old sluice box from Colorado sitting out here. But yeah, lots of cool stuff. This cool old ladder. Somebody steal that. We've had lots of things go missing out here. Right when we first moved here, when they thought old folks still lived here. So lots of things that you can pick up and go. We had a nice ladder. It was about 8 feet tall, an old farm ladder. It disappeared. Let's see. We got an old dry sink that kind of coming apart. We got out of the summer house and we tore it down. Yeah. Nice old rope and tack. There's old horse tack hanging up in the rafters. A couple old horse collars up there. That always thought that was a horse blanket, but I don't think. It almost looks like a buggy cover with the window and the zipper and stuff on it. I know they had a two-wheel buggy that we found when we was tearing down the barn. We had an old bank barn. I'll show you where the bank was. Got a horse-drawn tongue of some sort. And got some cultivators for the tractor back there. Got all this old sign material. I work in the city next to a sign company, and they get this aluminum with plastic in the middle. Makes for great project stuff here on the farm. It's just awesome. I saved the frames from when the guy put the doors in our house. I got some I try to scavenge building material whenever I can find it. We've done that here. This thing in the corner. Got a couple cool things here in the corner if you can see them. That horizontal thing with the ropes, that is a hay sling from the barn. They used to put loose hay up in the hay mow, and they'd fill the sling full and it'd go up run on a track along the peak of the barn, and then they'd be able to dump it up in the mow. And behind that is a tripod that they use. You can see you can't hardly see three of them, but yeah, there's three long poles there. They go up and they're bolted together right there, and they use that for hog slaughtering. They'd hang the hog from that when they were doing it. Now I got this old trailer here. It's got some stuff in it. I just want to show you guys this if you can see it. See that V8 right there and the spoke wheels? Got some old Ford spoke wheels with V8 Ford hubcaps on this. That's what this trailer is built out of. I always thought that was pretty cool. So, old tractor seat over there. I got some more traps over here. Got a upright wood burner there that I picked up. Got a couple pulleys up there on the wall. And got the tractor here if I can fit by. We got, and I don't know if you can see him right over there, but we've got get past the blade here on the tractor. Yeah, get over here. Bunch of horseshoes hanging here. If I ever get into blacksmithing, I'll be messing with those. Oh, got, I don't know, just some chains there. And a couple broken pitchforks. Got an old buggy jack there that got a bullet hole in it and doesn't work. Got the old coyote traps, big old long spring coyote traps that they're in the thing. Don't use them here in Ohio. Yep, it's got some cool stuff out here. Got a roll of barbed wire down there too. Yep, haven't used that. So that's what we call the implement shed. They used to keep used to be a couple tractors in here, and they'd keep all the stuff in here. Okay, here we are. Where I'm walking right now, I've been walking in the barn. This is the bank. Went up to the second floor, and I had been in the barn, and then I've been outside the barn now, and we come over here to where we built the chicken coop. We built it on we used part of the foundation of the old chicken coop. So let me get around here, and we'll get in there. Oh, and something other really cool. Old barn well out here. No power to it, but I gotta. If I can get my solar set up, I can have water out here. But let's take a look at the chicken coop. Made lots of mistakes building this thing. Built this probably 14, 15 years ago. We used it probably 10 years. And we don't have chickens right now, but we hopefully get some this spring. But you can see, real tall. Lots of chicken wire stored up there. Got an antique chicken crate. Got out of the old chicken coop on the farm. I was able to get that's half of the nest boxes that was in there. We cut it in half long ways, and I mounted them on my wall. Made some roosts, made some more roosts. Most we've had in here, I think, was about 60 or 70 chickens at one time, and they seemed okay with it. We were able to do good. So looks like my battery's about dead, so that should be about it, because we covered all the buildings that are still standing.